Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Thank you for coming back to another episode of Scattered Brilliancy. My name is Travis, and I'm back to do another review for Married at First Sight, Season 7, Episode 5. Now, before I get into the review and everything that happened, let me just say that I'm so sick and tired of every episode of this show that we have to hear from every single person on the show why they decided to get married at first sight. I totally get that they have to do this in a way so that if somebody is watching it for the first time, they get it, like they understand what's been going on. But I swear, I'm so sick of hearing why everybody decided to get married at first sight. They do it every season. Every episode, they have to tell you why everybody decided to get married at first sight. We get it. All right, so I'm going to go through, the two couples that we really don't care about right now so we can get to the meat and potatoes of, everything that's going on. The couples, Babel and Danber, they're currently, for those who don't know, who didn't watch the last video, we've given the couples names, or I've given the couples names. We have Danber, we have Babel, and we have Tremia. Those are the names, all right? Cool. So Danber and Babel, they're in Mexico still. Tremia, they're still in the United States of America. They meet again. They had met last episode, but they met again. And while they were meeting, they asked again about Tristan and Mia, just wondering where they are. But they called Mia, and Mia was very evasive, surprise, surprise, about why they weren't there. So they're like, not really sure, but they can tell that something's up. The next day, they decide to go to the ruins, and Dave of Danber decides to call Tristan this time, and Tristan is forthright in saying that, Mia got arrested, but he didn't tell them why. So I'm interested to see what their reactions are going to be when they find out why. What happened next? Dave also said when he found out that she was arrested, he said had it been him, he would have cut Amber off. Like Dave said, I ain't dealing with it. I'm not messing with no girl who is getting arrested and we just met 48 hours ago. That would have been me, because I would have been out. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Annulment. All right, so Danber fills Babel in on what happened with Mia. They go to the Mayan ruins. They climb the ruins. It's a nice little moment for the couples. Danber are afraid of heights, so it was nice that they were able to get up there. So there's nothing really special going on there. So let's go to Danber next. The Amber of Danber decided that they wanted to take, that she wanted to take salsa lessons, so they decided to take salsa lessons. And obviously they're in Mexico, even though they're there earlier in the year. I guess it's still hot as Hades down there. But they're in Mexico, and there's no, I guess, central air where they're having their dance lesson at, because it's like an open area. And, Dave is doing this for Amber, and Amber's really excited, and he's trying to put his best foot forward. But the only thing that's coming forward is his sweat. He gets out there, and his sweat glands go into overdrive. I swear I've never seen anyone sweat through a shirt the way that he was sweating through that blue shirt he had on. Like I said on Twitter, his shirt was looking like a prepubescent teen's bed sheets at night, if you know what I mean. Because, they were just drenched, and every time they cut back and forth between it, the blotches of wetness, the blotches of moisture were just getting bigger and bigger, and by the time it was all over, his whole back was wet. My thing is, Amber should have looked at this man's shirt and said, clearly he is hot, very hot. Maybe I need to just go get him a glass of water, or maybe we just need to cut this off. But she wanted to have her dance lesson, and it was whew. But he was getting ticked off about that. So he did apologize for the fact that he, got overheated and didn't handle the situation the best he could. The only other thing to really talk about them was they had a conversation later that evening after the salsa classes where they talked about religion, and they're not on the same page when it comes to religion. For Dave, it means a lot to him, and Amber is kind of take it or leave it. She believes in spirituality and a higher power, but didn't necessarily give that higher power a name. And Dave didn't say what his religion was, but we're just going to assume that it's Christianity. And so he kind of, initially I was saying, well, isn't this another thing that the experts should have, taken care of? But he realized that he may have, in his words, sold himself short when it came to religion, and wasn't really as honest and forthright as he should have been in what he wanted in the religion department. She kind of feels like people who are religious are hypocrites and can be judgmental. And he felt like she was being judgmental by making that statement, which, you know, everybody is judgmental. You know, having an opinion is making a judgment about something, honestly. But they both decided that it wasn't anything that was going to make either of them leave. So, you know, that's okay for now. I'm pretty sure it'll come back up later because usually that's how these shows work. They show you something early in the season because it's going to come back up later. But Belle really didn't have anything going on with them this episode outside of the fact that they did it. And what's her name? Danielle made it a point to let us know that earlier in the first episode when they were looking at ring sizes, she was talking about the fact that his ring was smaller compared to the other two guys. But she made it a point to let us know that there's no correlation between ring size and eggplant size like we really wanted to know. So now the meat and potatoes of this video, and I brought something with me. Let's talk about Tremia for a little bit. Tristan, this is for you. Tristan, this is for you, okay? I'm gonna help you out. This review, I'm gonna help Tristan out. I hope he's paying attention. So, you know, this is what's going on. Mia's free. She's no longer incarcerated. And they decide they're going to do a mini... I'm not going to do this the whole time. They decide that they're going to do a mini honeymoon in downtown Dallas. And they get the honeymoon suite at whatever hotel this is. And there's rose petals everywhere, which look nice. But side note, you know, when people put rose petals everywhere, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, who's cleaning this up? Like, who's cleaning this up? When me and my wife take a bath and we put rose petals in it, you know, that's enough. But to be putting rose petals just everywhere, I'm just like, ooh, it's a lot to get up. Oh, sorry. So they're going... I realized that definitely is Mia's favorite word. She said definitely like 3 times back to back. Definitely is definitely her favorite word. So pretty much they decide they're gonna, you know, everything's going well up until that night, and they have a conversation off camera where Mia finally comes clean to Tristan. She tells Tristan what the rest of us already knew, that she was not honest about what really happened and about those charges. She admits that she did know that man. And so now Tristan is feeling some kind of way because he's like, I mean, you said you didn't know him. You knew of him, and, you know, I took you at your word, which was stupid. Like that. This is why Tristan took her at her word. If anybody is confused about why Tristan was like, you know, she said it didn't happen, so hey, it didn't happen. This is why. Okay? This is why. So they end up meeting with the experts because the experts realize how serious of a situation this is, and they want to make sure that they're on the same page. So they meet with them individually, and they meet with them as a, you know, collective group. Mia immediately, you know, starts to cry, talking to the doctor, and she pretty much comes out to the doctor to tell her, you know, what we already knew as far as about the stalking charges, and that I didn't take a whole lot of notes during this section because I feel like everything that was said was stuff that we, the viewers, already were aware of. You know, it wasn't anything that was shocking or surprising. It was just good that they finally got it all out. But what was interesting was that Tristan said to Pastor Cal that Mia told him she was falling in love with him. And what was interesting is Mia's crying in one room and Tristan is crying in another room. And, you know, it's not to say that you can't, you know, immediately fall in love with people, but this has got to be what it is. This has got to be what it is. She says she's living in a heightened state of paranoia. Man, you brought it on yourself. You brought it on yourself. This is no one's fault but your own. If you would have just left old Jimmy alone when he said to leave you alone, when the police told you to leave him alone, this wouldn't be an issue. Now, one thing that I didn't know last week when I recorded my video was that Mia was released on bail. She said the charges were dropped, but that court document was out that said she was released on bail. I didn't read it thoroughly to see what the amount was, but to my knowledge, when you're released on bail, that doesn't mean that the charges are dropped. That just means that you recognize that, yes, I did X, Y, and Z, but I don't want to be in jail, so I'm going to pay this money. I don't have a real vast knowledge of the legal system, but to my knowledge, that's what paying bail means. It means you're accepting that, you know, there's some truth in this. You know, I may be wrong, but I don't know. But, so, you know, I had an idea. Because of this, I said, I need to help old Tristan out. You know, it doesn't make any sense that Tristan is acting this naive. There's no reason for him to be acting this naive. And let me do mention, they have consummated their marriage as well, which is no surprise to me because I figured that when Mia got home or back to the hotel and Tristan said, you know, hey, well, I believe you, Mia probably was like, okay, girl, acrobatics tonight. You're going to be a trapeze artist, you know, put it down, girl. Make it so that he stays. Your last boy left. He done called the police on you. You got a guy right here that's he's legally your husband. So you gonna have to put it down. And she clearly put it down enough because Tristan was in that room crying because he cares about it so much. And I'm willing to bet that Tristan is falling in love with her almost the same way. So I'm gonna help him out. Tristan, are you there? Tristan, are you there? I want you to come real close to the camera, okay? Tristan, you ready? This is for you. All right, you back? You back? Okay. Oh, his nose is bleeding. All right, somebody get him a tissue. Somebody get him some milk. Y'all make sure y'all rate, like, comment. Rate and liking is the same thing. Rate, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Follow me on Twitter at ScatterB. And I'll be talking to y'all later. This show is nothing without Tremia. Honestly, if it wasn't for Tremia, this season would be boring as ever. And I probably would have stopped reviewing it by now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.